Hello, colleagues. My name is Ronnie Murungu. I am the Regional Director for Africa and Middle East with the International Youth Foundation. I'm really honored to be part and parcel of this International Conference on Sustainable Development. I'll be speaking to the topic that has been inspired by one of our projects in Kenya, entitled Leveraging Sports for Youth Employment and Economic Empowerment. So I'll proceed to start my presentation, and I hope you'll be inspired and you enjoy this presentation. So let me start by introducing my organization, International Youth Foundation. We are an international organization that stands by, for, and with young people. Founded in 1990, IYF is a global nonprofit organization that has worked in more than 100 countries in collaboration and in partnership with over 600 partners. So together with local community-based organizations and a network of corporate foundations, bilateral and multilateral partners, we connect young people with opportunities to transform their lives. As an organization, as a foundation, we believe that educated, employed, engaged young people possess the power to solve the world's toughest problems. And we focus our youth development efforts on three linked objectives. The first one is unlocking youth agents, where we try to make sure that young people, they are empowered to be able to engage and contribute and be solution-oriented at local level, subnational level, national level, coming to regional level. Then driving economic opportunities is the second objective. And the last one is making systems more youth inclusive. As an organization, our vision is to see young people inspired and equipped to realize the future they want. So in a nutshell, this is who we are as an organization, the organization that I work for. Let's look at the background of the state of young people globally. So globally, there are about 1.8 billion youth aged between 15 and 29 years worldwide, and the number is growing. And there is tremendous potential for these young people to drive economic growth in their opportunities. But 2 out of 5 are either unemployed or are living in poverty. And often all young people need to thrive is the opportunity to unlock their potential and to develop the skills, especially work-relevant skills that employers across the globe and in all industries increasingly value. As the International Youth Foundation, we seek to address these significant youth-level challenges by leveraging the power of sport to engage young people. So we use sport among other variant, unique, and important approaches that we use to engage with young people. So sports provides an ideal entry point for meeting young people where they already are, that is on the sports field, and has proven to be an effective means for helping young people develop work-relevant life skills like critical thinking, problem solving, communication, and teamwork. I think let's speak briefly about why we saw it important, relevant, and impactful in integrating sports in development programs. We noted 5 very key issues. The first one is skills development. Sport is in a unique position to offer ways for people of all abilities to achieve and develop skills, which builds their confidence in other areas. Sport can reinforce key life skills such as decision-making, leadership, teamwork, and how to manage stress. The other reason we noted on the importance of integrating sports in development program is around social connection. We noted and we conclude that sports gives people the chance to be part of something bigger, offering the opportunity for engagement across generations or territories, working in teams and building relationships. Sport in itself is a powerful tool to foster community cohesion, community collectiveness, and also community oneness. The third aspect is around mobilization and advocacy. Sports popularity and universality makes it uniquely placed to reach socially isolated or hard to reach groups. Sport is a tool to engage stakeholders and policymakers, and often it's used to communicate messages on difficult issues that many would otherwise avoid. So we noted that it's also very key in mobilizing and also advocacy work. The fourth aspect is around challenging stereotypes. Sport is a powerful way to challenge harmful stereotypes that are a reality for many individuals and groups across the world, such as expectations and cultural traditions that exist for some women and girls, or the stigma faced by many disabled people. So through sport, we come together in our oneness, and through this, we challenge stereotypes. Lastly, sport addresses mental health. Benefits of increased level of fitness, improved mobility, and better mental health have been recorded, and we have also witnessed this through our programming as IYF as well. So these are the 5 reasons that we picked as an organization that speaks to why it's important to integrate sports in the development programs. Let me quickly speak to IYF's model. So IYF's Sports for Development model differs from other Sports for Development models in significant ways. While many Sports for Development models are sports plus, meaning their primary focus is sports, with the other outcomes being secondary. For International Youth Foundation, it is plus sports, meaning that our focus is on work readiness skill building as the primary outcome. Our Sports for Development programs leverage experiential learning that enables young people to take the skills they learn on the field and apply them off-field, including the workplace. So, for example, a young soccer player who has experienced the importance of clearly communicating to a teamwork can apply that skill to giving and receiving directions in his or her job. So continuing with the model, Sports for Development model that IYF uses, we have 3 very important variables that we consider. The first one is basically the framework that defines how we integrate sports in the development work. The second one looks into the partnership, how we ensure that our partnerships, they are better positioned, better aligned to deliver the programs and also the expected outcomes around employability and economic empowerment. Then the third aspect looks at how we do the training, integrating that within with sport. So looking at the framework, in IOS Sports for Development projects, sports serves as the platform for delivering work readiness programming that is consistent with our non-sports programming. Then activities are conducted through the language of sport, translating critical skills used on the field to the workplace. I think we gave an example of a young person bringing skills that he or she has learned from the field into the workplace, looking at communication. Then to accomplish this, we use IOIF's flagship life skills curriculum, which is entitled Passport to Success. This has been used since 2004 to meet the needs of youth, employers, youth-serving organizations, and other key stakeholders in more than 50 countries. So let me move to the second variable, which is on partnership with sport. IOIF works through local youth-serving partner organizations to deliver programming. We are an organization that believes in localization, in working with local institutions, and in valuing the contributions of local organization. And this ensures the local application and ownership of programming, which promotes scale and sustainability. For a sports for development project, IOIF identifies a sports partner to develop a contextually appropriate intervention. And IOIF Sports for Development partners are embedded and trusted in their communities and have extensive youth networks that can be used to recruit participants in the project. Then using our robust capacity assessments and proven workshops, curriculum, and tools, IOIF strengthened the capacity of our partners to deliver livelihoods, training, and services to young people. Then lastly, under the partnering with sports, capacity building typically includes training of trainers to deliver the Passport to Success life skills curriculum. And we noted that sports coaches have proven to be particularly capable PTS trainers because they are accustomed to activity-based pedagogy. Let me look at the third aspect, which is training with sport. So 10 PTS, a Passport to Success sport lessons that provide detailed step-by-step descriptions, enabling trainers to easily facilitate trainings with the required materials. So we have 10 PTS modules that are used for this process. The PTS 4-day TOT with the sports piece incorporated, so new PTS trainers can apply the PTS pedagogy on the sports field and in the classroom. For participants who are athletes, IOIF equips trainers to contextualize lessons by using relevant sports examples throughout PTS classroom training. Then PTS Sport Trainers Manual Supplement, which provides detailed explanations and consideration for preparing for and facilitating field lessons. Now, let me move on to the case study, which is the project that we used to present this paper to you, Sport for Kenyan Youth Employment. Sport for Kenyan Youth Employment was run between 2015 and 2017, and it was implemented in partnership with Matare Youth Sports Association in Nairobi, Kenya. And this project delivered a sports-based work readiness curriculum and on-the-job training model that equipped the youth with nationally recognized market-driven skills and provided direct linkages to jobs. In terms of outcomes and impact, SKY reached more than 3,100 young people, targeting disadvantaged and at-risk youth in the informal settlements in Eastlands, Nairobi, who were out of school and unemployed, by integrating football, soccer, into a dynamic training model that prepared them for work in the Kenya's rapidly growing construction sector. SKY trained 527 youth using IOIF's Passport to Success life skills curriculum, with modules adapted to build on the competencies gained through sport. And intensive on-site technical training and national certification in a demand-driven trade, masonry, tiling, electrical are some of the trades that we train young people with, augmenting that with PTS. And all this prepared youth to work on a construction site. In addition, 2,646 youth received essential financial skills training. So after completing training and receiving trade certification, 75% of youth found work and continued their education or training. 21% of working youth received a pay raise and a promotion within 6 months. Then working graduates received an average weekly income of $25.93, up from about $7.85 at project start. And 60% of youth had bank accounts, up from 26% at the start of the project. So this highlights the outcome and impact of our project at the end. So what we are seeing here is a picture of Tom, who graduated from this program in the masonry class and is now employed with a company working in Babadogo Ward in Nairobi. And here we are seeing Pamela, who also graduated from Sky, top of a mason class, and is now employed with a company working in Kahawa West in Nairobi, Kenya. So what are the facets for an effective sports and employment program, learning from the Sky project in Kenya? We came up with 4 critical facets that worth sharing with you. The first one is safeguarding. Safeguarding must be embedded throughout the organization and all its activities. So for IYF, for our partner, and also for the stakeholders we engage with, safeguarding was priority. So analyzing and addressing the risk to participants at all levels is a priority. So if you are considering to introduce and to integrate sports into your program, the first aspect that you need to consider that we have learned from this case study is safeguarding. The second aspect is partnerships. Organizations with local ownership rooted in the culture and traditions of community with staff that understand the local issues will deliver programs with the biggest impact. They should build local partnerships, develop networks, and help communities take ownership. So partnership is the second most important facet to consider. Then a consultative program design and inclusion. There must be a clearly designed program with evidence the work is needed that draws on consultation. Inclusion is well-defined, a clear end goal, and well-defined social outcomes. So in defining a clear program inclusion, all key stakeholders should be consulted. The last one is a robust monitoring, evaluation, reporting, and learning systems. Projects should have robust monitoring, evaluation, and learning systems that focus on the impact of work. So those 4 are the key facets that we picked from this case study that are critical for sports for development program, particularly those that have an economic empowerment facet to it. Lastly, it's important to share with you some of the key questions that we looked at in designing this program, I think, which are also important to share with you for those who are considering to develop and integrate sports within their interventions. We had about 7 key areas that we looked at. So let me start with so the first one is, apologies, target group. So under target group, we asked three very important questions. Why have we chosen target group, and how well do we understand their needs? Have we consulted with the participants from this group? And do we listen to our participants and take on board their feedback? Key questions. Then the second aspect related to environment. The key questions that we used are the facilities appropriate for the participants' community, location and context? How will we create a positive and natural environment that feels safe and values personal achievement? And how will we help the participants to develop relationships of respect and trust, both with staff and with fellow participants? So those three questions looked at environment. Project change, what long-term change would we like to achieve? In the case of this case study, we're looking at youth employment and economic empowerment. And what is the evidence that this change is needed? Have we designed smart outcomes? How and what will we measure to see whether change has taken place? Then how will we know we have been successful? So these are the three questions that we considered under project change. Relationships are also key. And under this, the guiding questions that we had, one, have we developed the local partnerships and networks to ensure the work is embedded in the community and is using a locally relevant approach? Have we done a comprehensive partner capacity assessment? Then have we carried out comprehensive checks on any partners we intend to work with? Does their governance and safeguarding match our own standards? Then the last three around sports activity, organization, and program. So under sports activity, what type of sport or physical activity is most likely to help us deliver our objectives or outcomes? Is the sport or physical activity relevant and appropriate for the target group? Then do we have the skills to deliver activities, or do we need to bring in experts or partners? So in the case of the Sky project, football, soccer came out as the most appropriate because one, the infrastructure was there. Two, the young people liked soccer, and we had trainers who were capable of engaging and working with young people and other stakeholders. So this is very key in selecting the sport activity to integrate into your programs. Then organization, why are we the right organization to deliver this work? In our case, we focus on young people, youth employment, economic empowerment is our key. But our partner, Mathare Youth Sports Association, they were better placed because they were embedded in the community. It's a local organization. They know and understood the demands and the requirements of young people, and also the labor market needs. The other question is, are our safeguarding policies and practice for children and vulnerable adults embedded across the entire organization? And lastly, under organization, do we have good governance, including strong financial management, inclusion, and values? Then, excuse me. Lastly, under programs, what other activities will we deliver to achieve the desired outcome? How well have we integrated the other activities with the sport to create a coherent program? What pathways to future opportunities do we have in place for participants? So these are the key questions that we used in highlighting the in designing the program that I spoke to about in Kenya, Nairobi. And we thought it's important to conclude this presentation by sharing this with you for those who will be considering to integrate sports into their programs. So thank you very much. I'm available and open to questions and comments.